All right, guys. So I'm looking here at Plausible. So this is a library that is a Google Analytics alternative. This is how it presents itself. So basically, that's exactly what it is. You take some JavaScript library, you plant it inside your HTML website, and then you have the other side, which is the server that receives the events. Right, so you have the HTML, web, and then you have the other side, the server, which receives the event and then present you with all these graphs and charts, etc. So because it is open source, you can install it locally, both the server and the client. You can just install them, right, and then get it for free. But if you don't want to mess with it, I mean, free is a relative thing because also in free, you need to install servers, you need to get servers, you need to manage them. So it's not always free. So they have the pricing. But before we talk about pricing, let's read this a little bit, discuss when you should use it and versus when should you prefer to use Google Analytics. Of course, we are on the website, so we won't learn from it really. We would need to deduce when to use Google Analytics. So let's try this easy to use and privacy friendly Google Analytics alternative. Plausible is intuitive, lightweight. I have to say that it's pretty commonly used, especially among solo developers, people who use it. Lightweight and open source web analytics, no cookies. Oh, this is beginning to get interesting. No cookies, fully compliant with GDPR, CCPA, PACR, made hosted in the EU, powered by European owned. So this already says that if you want the most, I mean, you want to be sure you're compliant with all the things, you want to be in control of the data that you collect, then Plausible is for you. It's simpler to install, but if you want more advanced features, you're willing to pay maybe a little bit more, you want to get thing, then Google Analytics might be the alternative. And then we get, all these statistics, and it's working pretty good. It's time to teach Google Analytics. Google Analytics is frustrating to use, difficult to understand, slow to load, and privacy invasive. That's why we built Plausible Analytics, a simple but powerful, lightweight, less than 1 kilobyte. Open source and privacy-friendly alternative. Here's what makes Plausible great Google Analytics alternative. There's over the discuss, especially the privacy. You own the data. You get exactly the things. They will do aggregation and statistic for you versus Google Analytics that you less know exactly what they collect. They can collect things from the browser, the geolocation, etc. So if you want to be 100% fully compliant with all the privacy, GDPR, EU, whatever that is there, Plausible is making a huge effort on this. Of course, I don't expect Google Analytics to be that behind. Even if they are behind today, they will probably keep up with the pace. No need for cookie banners or GDPR. Plausible for fancy cookies are not used and no personal data is collected. Of course, Chrome is already ditching the third-party cookies. So I think this is, let's see how much it's used. 12K paying subscribers. So you see, it's heavily used. 2 to 9K active website. If you were on the internet 10 years ago, you wanted to go for a startup. I mean, you wanted to build a startup. This is that startup that you should have built, the analytics one. Active websites and 33 billion tracked page views. Tracking and analytics always win when building startups. You want to think of a startup today, think which analytics can you collect, maybe something with LLM or something, collect analytics about how people use LLMs, whatever, or collect analytics from LLM usage, people who are using LLM, maybe a library for LLM to collect analytics, because right now we collect analytics from the web. But what about analytics from LLM? Do we have JavaScript library for this? Do we have some code for this? Not that I heard. This would be a good startup for today. Let's see the pricing plan for this. So until up to 10K monthly, you would pay this much. For a startup, that's nothing, right? Once we start increasing the number for 100K page views, it's page views, it's not unique users or something, starts to grow. And for, let's say you are a good startup with 10 million, so $169 per month, still good enough. They make a lot of money. You should have built it startup 10 years ago. So this is the thing about Plausible. That's it. I think we'll cut it here. If you're a solo developer or a small startup, you can consider this. You can also try the Google Analytics if you decide Google Analytics is too heavy for you. Whatever, you can go with Plausible. Many people are going with it actually, so it should satisfy all your needs, I think. Especially that you can install the open source version, both the server and client, to get it fully free. But you will need to manage it. If you're okay with managing it, it's perfect.